Welcome, brothers, to Spiritual Gems for this week, January 27th to February 2nd, 2025. We begin with the first question. Why does David liken the tongue of evil men to that of a serpent? David likens the tongue of evil men to that of a serpent because just as the venom of a snake can poison and potentially kill a person, malicious speech, such as slander, lies, and harmful criticism, can deeply harm a person's reputation or spiritual well-being. In Psalm 140 verse 3, he highlights how these hurtful words act like venom behind the lips, emphasizing the deadly effect that slanderous or deceitful speech can have on others. The comparison underscores the powerful and destructive influence of speech when it is misused. Next question. What spiritual gems from this week's Bible reading would you like to share? Psalm 141. Rescue me, O Jehovah, from evil men. Safeguard me from violent men. Lesson. This verse reminds us to look to Jehovah as our protector. In our personal life and ministry, we can encourage others to place their trust in God, confident that He provides safety and guidance when facing dangers or opposition. Psalm 140:13. Surely the righteous will give thanks to your name, the upright will dwell before you. Lesson. Jehovah values and cares for those who strive to do what is right. This promise reassures us that maintaining integrity leads to a closer relationship with Him. In our preaching, we can emphasize how righteous conduct keeps us in Jehovah's favor and allows us to enjoy His protection. Psalm 141:2. May my prayer be as incense prepared before you, my uplifted hands like the evening grain offering. Lesson. Our sincere prayers are precious to Jehovah, comparable to a pleasing sacrifice. Encouraging others to pray wholeheartedly helps them strengthen their bond with God. We can also apply this personally by making prayer a regular and heartfelt practice. Psalm 141:3. Set a guard, O Jehovah, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Lesson. Controlling our speech honors Jehovah and protects our relationships. Whether in personal conversations or in our public ministry, careful, loving words can build others up and reflect the godly qualities Jehovah wants us to display. Psalm 142, verse 2. Before Him I pour out my concern. Before Him I tell about my distress. Lesson. David poured out his anxieties to Jehovah, trusting Him completely. Imitating this example, we can encourage those we meet in the ministry and remind ourselves to share our deepest worries with God. He is always ready to listen and provide comfort. Psalm 142, verse 5. I cry to you, O Jehovah, I say, you are my refuge, my portion in the land of the living. Lesson. Acknowledging Jehovah as our refuge gives us hope and courage. When we teach others, we can highlight that relying on Jehovah ensures a firm foundation, even when we face trials. Psalm 143:8. Cause me to hear your loyal love in the morning, for I trust in you. Make known to me the way I should walk, for to you I turn. Lesson. Each day we need to rely on Jehovah's loyal love and guidance. Starting our day with prayer and Bible study helps us follow His path. This advice can be especially practical to share in Bible studies or when encouraging fellow believers to maintain a close relationship with God. Psalm 143:10. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. Your Spirit is good. May it lead me on level ground. Lesson. Genuine humility involves seeking Jehovah's guidance and being willing to follow it. In our personal life and in our preaching, we can highlight the importance of letting God's Spirit shape our decisions, which leads to a more secure and joyful life of service. Psalm 140:12. I do know that Jehovah will defend the afflicted and will render justice to the poor. Lesson. This verse assures us that Jehovah cares deeply for the oppressed and will eventually bring justice. This knowledge can comfort us and those we meet in the ministry, helping us maintain hope in God's righteous rule rather than becoming discouraged by injustices in the world. Psalm 141:5. Should the righteous one strike me, it would be an act of loyal love. If he would reprove me, it would be like oil on my head, which my head would never refuse. Lesson: accepting loving correction from faithful companions is beneficial. Rather than viewing reproof as something negative, we can see it as an expression of loyal love. Encouraging others to humbly accept counsel from mature Christians fosters spiritual growth and unity within the congregation. Psalm 143:11. For the sake of your name, O Jehovah, preserve me alive. Because you are righteous, bring me out of distress. Lesson: David appealed to Jehovah's name and righteousness when seeking deliverance. We can do the same, remembering that Jehovah's name represents his trustworthy qualities and promises. In our personal prayers and when encouraging others, we can highlight how relying on God's righteousness brings comfort and assurance during hardships